Hey guys, welcome to the Acts 2 Network Christmas webinar. We are so glad that you are with us today. So here's what we're doing. At Acts 2, we love to equip pastors to make the biggest difference possible and change their cities for the kingdom of God. And so as we lead up to a great holiday season with Christmas coming around, we wanted to record a series of videos with people that are doing the work professionally and to get some ideas and some of those golden nuggets to help us get ready for the Christmas season to make the biggest impact possible. And so on this webpage or this podcast, you will see several videos with different topics on how you can get prepared. So make sure you click through that, check those out. They're going to be great. Hey, listen, today we have the honor of having my executive pastor, Pastor Travis Lucas, with us today. He's not only the executive pastor at Radiate Church, but he is also over Frontlines Forward.
Thank you, Pastor.
Come on, the Executive Pastor Network. Let's go.
Absolutely.
Just tell us a little bit about you, Travis.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been in ministry here at Radiate on staff now for 4 years. So seen more than 4 Christmases, but been on staff for 4 years. And absolutely love ministry. Husband to Ashley Lucas, dad to Hannah Lucas, my little girl. So
she's a pistol, man. She's awesome.
I feel like I'm doing more ministry at home than at church sometimes.
Well, that's our first ministry, so no, that's good.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's me in a nutshell. But I have such a great privilege to sit in the seat that I sit in here at Radiate Church. But man, every day for me is just waking up, trying to figure out strategies and ways that we can stay on mission and make sure we're hitting all of our goals. And every day we're inching forward. We're moving that front line a little bit forward.
We are. And Travis, I say this not because he's on staff. I'd say this even if you were at another church, which will never happen. But I say this because you are one of the greatest strategists.
Thank you, Pastor.
Just the way you analyze and think about things and make sure that division's always moving forward.
Yeah.
That's why I love Frontlines Forward.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You do a great job at that.
Thank you.
And that's why I wanted you to talk about that moving into Christmas. So tell us a little bit about your job here at Radiate and how you lead teams and what we call coaches here at Radiate.
Yeah, that's a really great question. So I get the privilege of leading a few staff members and some really key lay leaders, our coaches, in a variety of different areas of operation. But probably one of the best ways that I do that is just create some opportunities that reoccur to where our coaches are getting information on a weekly basis of what's happening and what that might look like at their team level. Yeah. We've done some strategic things of engaging our staff and our coaches on a reoccurring basis, and we engage our coaches on a monthly opportunity, have a big team building and leadership training night. So it's probably just creating ongoing strategies where we can develop and talk church on a very reoccurring basis. So that's what I get to do to lead them. So
you do a great job at it.
Appreciate that.
You really do. So, all right, so Christmas is coming up.
It is.
Right? So Christmas and Easter are the Super Bowls for churches, right? It's the big times. Easter first.
Yep.
Christmas second.
Yep.
Attendance-wise.
That's right.
Only attendance-wise. So Christmas is always highly attended.
It is.
Right? It is a COVID time. So we thought we were over COVID, and then COVID showed back up. It's like the weird uncle that never goes away.
That's right.
And so, you got that. And so Christmas always highly attended for every church. And you've been doing this, like you said, this is not your 4th Christmas with Radiate. You've been with us longer than that. But on staff, this will be probably your 5th Christmas, right?
Yeah, it'll be 4th on staff, 9th overall.
Okay, all right. Yep. So with all
overall,
of that, what are some pitfalls that as we're preparing for this and we're leading up to such a big day? And it can be pitfalls that you see me fall into. You can call me out if you want.
No. So this is what was really interesting as we were, or as I was thinking about the conversation you and I were going to have about Christmas. I realized, and I felt very strongly, that the pitfall is also was kind of one side of the coin. The other side is the opportunity. And so I think there's one thing that we can focus on today for pastors, but we're going to get to see the pitfall side versus the growth side of it. And that's this. Christmas gives us the opportunity and it gives us the permission to try things we've never tried before.
Yeah.
it instigates us to want to create a higher quality and intensity to the ministry we already have. We do a little more marketing we normally do. We try some different things on stage than we normally do. We maybe engage our team members and those we lead a little bit differently than we normally do. So we get an opportunity to do things, right? But the pitfall is this: we only do it for one day. And we realize we forget the fact that same intensity and the same quality that we brought to a holiday ministry opportunity, we can do that all year long.
Yeah.
And so I would say the pitfall is seeing it as one singular day versus an opportunity. And so that's kind of, I think, would be a great point for our conversation today.
All right, so that is a pitfall because you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
You can have, and we talk about this every big Sunday we do, ever. You can create an experience that's not who you really are.
Yeah. That's very true.
People don't experience the character and the personality of your church, of your teams, of your people, right? And that's a pitfall. So how do we turn that into an opportunity? Because you talked about there's two sides of the coin.
Yes.
And I know I didn't give you the heads up on that conversation.
Yeah.
But man, I'd actually love to kind of lean into that.
I think it's the best place we can go. So think about it like this. So as we're planning our Christmas experiences, we're thinking about things like, hey, let's attempt this creative thing that we don't normally do. Maybe it's like something that a guest is going to actually tangibly engage with. Yeah. Or maybe it's something they're going to experience in your auditorium visually or through listening. Or maybe it's a different way you're going to tell a story you don't you don't normally tell. Yeah. There's an opportunity to engage somebody a way your church doesn't normally engage them, right? But the pitfall is not using that opportunity to go, man, this worked out really well. We should actually incorporate this to a normal weekend worship experience. We went over the top cleaning up the outside of the building, but we could do that every week, So, I think for me, one of the biggest things is, and you made a great point too, there's also a pitfall of what if we overextended ourselves and now we're actually unable to serve a guest like this on the 13th Sunday of the year, not the 52nd one, that we're going to be having, or the 51st one, the second to last one we're going to have. So that pitfall is not just seeing it as a one-time event, because it's not a one-time event. Yeah. And as a matter of fact, I even will be willing to believe there's a lot of churches right now, part of Acts 2, they're considering adding an experience to be able to serve more guests. Yeah. Well, that's an opportunity actually going past Sunday. Yeah. To continue that. That's good. And so there are a lot of things that if we, and I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, because I think I have a way to help people think about this by the end of today's webinar. But yeah, that pitfall is really an opportunity.
Man, I actually like how you put that, because we can focus on the big Sunday.
Yes.
And really just build that. Yeah. But if you don't think past that. Yeah. It is a really big pitfall.
So I'm gonna use a phrase really quick, and I was saving it for the end, but I think it might help us for our conversation.
You can use it at the end too.
All right. Is we just don't want to see to it, speaking in terms of a Christmas experience. We won't just see to it. We want to see through it.
That's good.
Because, and you and I both know this. Think about this at your house, right? You're unwrapping presents. You're gonna have family over. You're gonna eat that day, and then by the end of the night, it's all over. All you're done with is a house full of dishes and wrapping paper and stuff to put together. That doesn't sound that magical, right?
Yeah, that's good.
And we often think sometimes, too, in church, and we have big days, that somehow or another that's the mountaintop. Yeah. But once you get to the mountaintop, you get to look out and go, oh, there's a bunch of other mountains in all directions, too. Yeah. And, so we have the opportunity to see through it and go, hey, what can we learn about ourselves this Christmas that affects us the next 51 Sundays?
No, that's really good. And in this list of webinars, there's a guest impressions and follow-up video as well with Aaron Fulmer that is seeing through. Yes. We're trying to see through past just that Sunday. So make sure you check that one out too. But, man, that's really good stuff. So talking about that, talking about not just see to it, but seeing through it and all that, I think that's really strong. What metrics? Because here's the thing, like, that's you and I, the way that we lead is we watch metrics. Yes. And we pay a close attention. Yes. To metrics, and that's how we lead from metrics. That's how you can tell
Yeah.
health and things like that
Sure.
on tangible things. So what metrics are you paying attention to?
Yeah.
Or trying to increase and bump up
Yeah.
as we're leading up to days like this?
So I would tell you, I'd start that by saying, here's some things I'd probably pay attention to now. And then we'll slide into some things that we can pay attention to going forward towards Christmas. Some things I'd pay attention to now are, and everybody's doing it, so you're going to have these within 2 clicks of your organization. You need to know how many people are coming on a normal Sunday, and you need to know how many people are attending online on a normal Sunday. That helps you think about what kind of capacity we need to open up for our guests for Christmas. So if one of our churches here, we're going to use easy math, is they have 100 guests on a Sunday, and that's pretty normal. That's pretty much capacity for them. When everybody brings a relative, we got a chair problem now, and so we need to open up more experiences. So I think the thing you need to be highly familiar with right now is just who's coming to church on a normal basis. And you and I both know this, and something we've experienced too over watching things, is that folks who maybe came on a really regular basis now, maybe a little more sporadic, maybe they have a family member who's in school. That kid from school is been experienced maybe a COVID scare or something, so they're out of school. So what would it look like to have every one of your people on the same day? Because we talk about that a good bit. Like, hey, we're missing this face or this family. Yeah. So I'd have a really good idea of who would be there if every one of your people joined you on a big day, so you can help plan for some seating. Yeah. But here are a couple things I would watch, and I think these are going to be helpful to us.
All right.
Some metrics I would pay attention to is how much exposure have we created for Christmas, right?
That's good.
So some very simple things that we can do is we can put out signage.
Yep.
Well, I know this for a fact that no matter what church is watching this right now, you can pull county data and you can know how many cars are passing by that location you put your sign out.
Yep.
And you might find that you're 1 block away from reaching 10,000 more cars.
That's it. Come on.
So I would be paying really close attention to physical exposure. How many places are we putting door hangers? How many places are we passing out invites? We can count those things, right?
Yeah.
Digitally, we need to know, right? How many folks would be a win for us in terms of getting a Christmas experience across their desktop. If that's 1,000 people, then maybe one of the metrics you need to watch are, hey, we need to invest some dollars into our digital experience so we can serve some of those families who aren't going to be able to join us for a health reason or whatnot. 2 bonus ones that I think churches need to be thinking about.
Like bonus stuff.
Is I would pay very close attention to your team members as well.
Yeah.
With having extra guests, this is a great opportunity to take a look at your team member base and go, man, if we had an extra 100 people come, we're asking a team member now to serve twice the amount of guests that they normally serve with excellence on a Sunday. If that's stretching our team members, man, how do we grow our team member base? Yeah, and so something we've done in the past, I think it's helpful for a lot of churches, is this is a great opportunity to engage your guests, your returning guests, and anybody who calls your church home, into a risk-free opportunity to serve on a team for a big Sunday. We've done this in the past. Hey, you can risk-free sign up to serve. We're not going to ask you to run sound. You're waving or you're helping somebody find a seat, something totally easy. And if you love it, we're going to tell you more about getting plugged in. And if not, tell us what you didn't like about it. So it's a great opportunity to make sure that, hey, do my team members match the guests we're going to serve?
Moment.
It is, yeah.
That's good.
And the last thing is this. Another metric I'd pay very close attention to is giving. And here's why. Is we know that in the church world, the fourth quarter can be a good opportunity to maybe recover from a quarter that things were a little tighter.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of our churches in Act 2, they may be considering an end-of-year give. And so I would be very mindful at, how many times you're getting that opportunity in front of your people. And did you reach the pledges that you had, or did you reach the goal that you had? So I'd be very strategic about that as well. You have an opportunity, but I'd be very strategic about, are we doing enough to get this vision in front of folks that they're willing to go on the journey of partnering with us?
People always give to vision.
They will.
You've got to have vision for where you're
Absolutely.
going and what you're going to do. Let me back up for a minute because I get asked this question a lot about the metrics of attendance and capacities. And I just kind of want to break down the most, universal way to figure out your capacities and how we actually do it here. It's this. You count how many chairs you have and how many parking spots you have. And 80%, if you're in the South, especially, you could probably push it to 85, but 80%, somewhere between 75 and 80%, that is your capacity.
Yeah.
Now, it may actually be closer with COVID around to 70%
Sure.
now.
Yeah.
Because people want a little bit more distance and elbow
Sure.
room, and I understand all that. So if you have 100 seats, like you were talking about, and let's say it's 75% is the percentage that you feel comfortable with, well, 75 people is going to be your capacity in that room.
Yeah.
And so when you get to 80, 90, 100 people, and you're at that 80, 90, 100% capacity, you are way too crowded, and what is perceived by the guest is they don't have room for me now.
Sure.
And this is uncomfortable. So you got to know that. And I would make a shift towards another service.
Yeah, absolutely.
Before you reach that capacity.
Yeah,
you have to do it before.
Absolutely.
Right? Or like you got to have it timed perfectly to do that. So there's that. And just like no. And then to figure out your averages, this is what we do is 8-week. Yeah. 8-week averages kind of tell you more of a story.
Yeah, they do.
They because here's the truth, right? We know this, especially in COVID times. This is what numbers do on church right now.
Yeah.
You know, it's like waves.
Yeah. It'd drive you crazy if you're looking.
Don't look every week.
Series to series or month to month.
Well, look every week, but don't base it on every week.
Absolutely.
Base it on your 8-week averages. And what we do is we get together every 2 weeks, look at our metrics.
Yeah.
Look at our 8-week averages, figure everything out, and go, all right, well, here's some shifts we need to make, or
absolutely,
this is concerning, or this is celebratory, or whatever. So
yep.
I just wanted to, because I get asked when we talk about capacity, like, how do you know your capacity?
Yeah, absolutely.
I would say 80% of your room. What's your room? They say chairs, parking spots, and kids.
Yeah,
those are your capacities right there. You got to know that stuff.
Yep.
All right. So at Radiate, here's what we're doing. Mm-hmm. And I actually, this is commonplace now. We're currently, well, not this part, but moving forward, we're currently running 3 services, 8:30, 10, and 11:30, to create capacity.
Absolutely.
In our services. We have one service that is the most popular, which everybody that has multiple services that's watching this has that same issue going on.
Absolutely, yeah.
We feel you, and so do a lot of other guys that I know.
Absolutely.
Right? So, and we're going to be adding a 4th for Christmas. And actually, we're going to be adding another at a house campus.
That's right. Yep.
That we're hoping to launch a full campus in the spring of next year. So, Travis, give us an idea of some of the things that you do or are going to do to help encourage and get your team excited about what God is going to do in people's lives this Christmas.
That's a really great question, and it goes back a lot to like the thesis for this is it is a springboard. It's an opportunity to see through it and go, hey, not only can we have an engaging one-time experience for a house campus, but how do we make that a reoccurring thing now? And what technology are we going to use that will be normal whenever that happens, you know? Yeah. It gives me an opportunity to encourage our leaders that, hey, anything special you're going to do for your team that day. I mean, think how simple this is. Even if a coach said, hey, I don't normally get breakfast for everybody, but I'm going to get it on Christmas because we're running multiple experiences and I want to care for my team. Yeah. Well, that's an opportunity to go, well, you know, you can do that every Sunday. You know you can do that every Sunday, right? And so I'd still want to encourage our folks. This is a springboard opportunity. You know, for us, you know, we have a goal to reach more and more people in our community. So one of the things I love about big days like this is whenever we get to go at the end of it and go, man, we had 4 experiences. Everybody had a great time. We heard a lot of great stories. What's stopping us from doing this forever? Right. And so, for me, the biggest thing is just being able to make sure our folks are resourced well, that we've removed any obstacles for them. You know, keep talking about vision, keep putting culture in front of everybody, say, hey, this is an opportunity to show it for the world, you know. But let's see through it. Let's take the things that we're doing right now and let's continue to like take them into the future. Why would we spend all these times getting our team together and meeting and throwing parties and all that stuff when we haven't done it all year?
That's good.
Like it just gives you a chance to go, hey, what we did that worked for this on a big day when we had tons of guests, we can do that every week. Yeah. And it gives us the chance to ratchet up the quality and intensity and the excellence of our ministry.
So, and so what I hear you saying is Make emotional deposits.
Yes.
In your teams, in your people, in your
Yes.
leaders, leading up,
Yeah.
like all the time.
Yeah.
So that whenever you do have to go, hey, we're going 4 servers, we're going 5 servers, we're going 6 servers, whatever it is, we're going to reach 2,000 people. Like our goal is to reach for the first time ever well over 1,000 people.
Sure. Yep.
You know, and that's our goal this year. Well, it's hard to do that whenever you haven't partied with your team and talked to your team. So what I hear you saying is make sure that you're depositing.
Yeah.
And making it easy
Yeah,
for them.
and you and I both know this too, that the majority of guests that make a decision to call your church home have likely done so because of an interaction they had with one of the team members at your church. You know, sermons go a long way, life groups go a long way, worship goes a long way. But a lot of times it will come down to one interaction that happened on a Sunday.
Yep.
And so under that logic, why wouldn't we spend more time developing the people who are going to make that once a day encounter?
That's good.
You know, and so it's a great opportunity. And we get to go, well, hey, why are we training so much for Christmas and partying so much for Christmas and coming up with creative stuff so much for Christmas when we don't do this any other time of the year?
Yeah.
So it's a great opportunity to go, hey, guys, y'all remember how hard we went after Christmas?
Yeah.
We can do that for Easter. We can do it after Mother's Day. We can do that on the random Sunday that, you know, that
we just want to party.
We're just going to throw a party for no reason.
We just want to throw an 80s party for no reason.
Exactly. So I think the biggest thing for our team, it gives us a chance to see the level that we're dancing with, that we're trying to hit. We get to see it one time.
Yeah.
And go, that wasn't that bad. We can actually do that. We can do that every week.
That's good.
You know?
That's really good, man, and really helpful. I think for pastors to hear.
Yeah.
How do we do that? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah.
So that's really good. All right. So as we're closing this thing out, right? This is your moment to drop some nuggets. You've already been, man, just pure gold today. You've been so good. What is something that you want every pastor, every leader watching that is going to watch this thing? What do you want them to walk away with? What do you want them to know?
Yeah, for sure. One thing, two things. The first thing is going to sound like it just sucked all the air out of this thing, but I do not intend for it to. So I was listening to a guy give a talk one time, and he was all about having like 100,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel or whatever, whatever this thing was. And so he hits it, and he said that I don't know what I was expecting that happened today that happened, but nothing did.
Yeah.
And so I have really changed the way I thought about big days in the way that they're not as magical as we make them out to be. And Christmas is special. It doesn't take away from what we celebrate about Jesus entering the world and dealing with the sin stuff we can't. But nothing magical happens on the 26th or the day after your Christmas experiences, right? Nothing magical is going to happen.
Yeah.
So if we take that away, we do get the chance to see through it and go, well, if we have increased follow-up, let's do that from now on out. Yeah. If we had creative service elements, let's do that from now on out. Let's don't say, but it doesn't stop there.
That's good.
It doesn't stop. It's just, if anything, something should start there, not stop there, right? Yeah. But our bad habit should stop. A good habit should start.
That's good.
And the second thing is I would want anybody to know is to never give up. More importantly than anything, something will go wrong on Christmas, right?
Yeah.
You will hope for 1,000 people, and 999 will show up, and you're going to be looking for, a stray dog in the parking lot to count or something to hit that 1,000. But don't give up. Yeah. God is going to use your church to do something amazing. There are going to be more stories than you're ever going to learn about that happened because of what your church did. Do something for the community. Yeah. And realize that you don't have to solve every problem. There's somebody in your community way better at solving a problem than you are. Go and support them and do that. Make a difference. Do something memorable. And just, the funny thing is, we don't really have to share Easter with anybody else in the world. Yeah. As Christians, we pretty much get a say of what happens on Easter. Yeah. But it's really not that way at Christmas time. The whole world celebrates this, whether they believe in Jesus or not. So we have the opportunity to tell the most important story of Christmas, and we shouldn't give up on that. I would encourage somebody to try something new for the first time.
That's good. Yeah. Try something new and celebrate.
Celebrate, yeah. Absolutely.
Celebrate, man. Yep. Like, create your scoreboard and celebrate.
That's right. Thank you, Pastor.
It's good. Thank you, man. That was really good stuff, and you're absolutely right. Nothing magic. I mean, all right, you hit 1,000. Okay. Yeah. Now what?
Hit 1,001 the next week.
Hit 1,001 the next week, right? Yeah. But celebrate it. Have fun with it. Yeah. Like, let your teams know, hey, we hit a goal. But what are you going to do to sustain it?
Look, what's stopping 1,000 people every week now?
That's right.
We all had fun.
We see that we can do it.
Yeah, everybody had fun in the process.
Yeah.
Lives were changed. Let's do it again.
Yeah. Put the graphic out, celebrate it, tell your
again.
people, and show back up the
That's
next
right.
Sunday and do it again.
Absolutely do
I
it
love
again.
that so much,
Yeah.
man. It's so good. Hey, you gave some really, really, really good
appreciate
stuff
that,
to
Thank you.
pastors and leaders today to help us get ready for Christmas. So I appreciate you taking some time and being with us and hanging out with Acts 2 Network today.
Yeah, absolutely.
How can people get in touch with you if they want to ask some questions or get some leadership or get their executive pastor in touch with you? What can they do?
Yeah, I'm very honored that you asked that as well. Yeah, I think probably the easiest way is just to personally reach out. I have a super easy email. It is Travis, my first name, Travis@radiatechurch.net.
Yeah.
And me or somebody on our team will get in touch with you. And I love nothing more than talk church and hang out. So it's really cool. Yeah.
Awesome. So if you need anything, if you have any questions, if you have an executive pastor that you want to connect
honored.
with Travis loves that.
Yep.
Get them in touch. Get them in touch with him and talk church and leadership and ministry.
Yep.
And I'm honored that you watched this video or listened to this audio and got some good stuff to hopefully prepare you for the most powerful and impactful Christmas you've ever had at your church. We're praying for you at Acts 2. We're proud of you. We're with you. We walk alongside you to make sure that you have everything you need to change your city for Jesus. We love you, and we're with you in this whole journey.